You know, I had almost 75 Bitcoin back in 2011. If I didn't sell when it went to $16, I'd be a millionaire right now. Sure, but don't you think you would have sold at $50 or $100 or $200 or $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000? No, you're right. I definitely would have sold at $65,000. Hi, I'm Brandon. Welcome to Trading Mindset. Today I'll be discussing the expansive presence of hindsight bias in cryptocurrency trading and investing. I imagine just about everybody can relate to that opening scene. We all have a friend or family member that seemed to be pen pals with Gavin Anderson or Satoshi Nakamoto himself, investing a then small sum into Bitcoin. It would now be worth millions. And I don't doubt that many of these stories are true, but would they have really held till the 2021 or even 2017 bull run? Maybe, but probably not. Between January 2011 and January 2013, Bitcoin rose by a factor of 33. 11 months later, in November of 2013, this factor grew to over 1,700. This means that $100 invested in Bitcoin in 2011, just 3 years later, would be worth $170,000. Be honest, wouldn't you have sold? This situation is actually the perfect example of hindsight bias. The concept was developed primarily by Baruch Fischhoff and Ruth Bath, with inspiration from Paul Meehl and expanded on by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. As humans, we tend to be a bit optimistic when recounting past experiences, assuming they were more predictable and less random than they actually were. We underestimate the vast number of paths our history could have traveled down and overestimate the odds of the prosperous ones. Returning to our previous example, people can't help but imagine what their previous crypto holdings would be worth now if only they hadn't sold. Ignoring the innumerable paths that lead to selling for a large loss, small loss, break even, or small gain. In fact, only the most extreme minority number of paths lead to selling near all-time high prices. The lesson? Don't beat yourself up for selling your crypto when you did. We truly fool ourselves into thinking we might have had the foresight to hold through every bull run, every bear run, and the temptation along the way. Who knows? Maybe the path that led to the investments you have now may be one of the lucky ones. Thank you very much for watching Trading Mindset. Like the video if you learned something new, subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of new episodes. See y'all next time.